Greetings and salutations. Nice to see you guys again. We're doing it live. It's your humble correspondent, El Jefe, here at DeFord Insurance Group, otherwise known as David DeFord, here to announce an important major announcement as it comes to running my agency. Glad to have all y'all on, 119 viewers live. Pretty cool. Thank you guys so much for your support. It's been a whirlwind ride here at DeFord Insurance Group since my very humble beginnings. Coming into this business out of desperation and now running a national agency, helping lots of agents in my agency and many more of you out there with having success in this business. So first of all, let me thank everybody for this wonderful opportunity that I never knew I'd have the opportunity to do. It has been a fantastic ride. I've enjoyed every second of it, and I will continue to enjoy even more of it. I had an epiphany. I regularly, and this kind of gets back to the original point here with why I'm holding this, a major announcement of some changes I'm making in my agency. I had an epiphany a couple of months ago. I like to survey my agents on what we could do better in our agency. I regularly do, as my agents will tell you, anonymous surveys as a way to try to figure out what can I do better to serve my people. I like making them anonymous because I think I get more of a truthful interaction because there's not that worry about who says what and all that stuff. And one of the things I did that directly relates to this big change is I surveyed them on the quality of their training experience. And for me, at DeFord Insurance Group, I've made my name, I think, on the training and the support and the mentorship as far as my kind of like unique selling proposition when it comes to recruiting agents, right? I've always catered to the agent that really feels that training and support is the crux of what matters in their agency, or I'm sorry, in their success in the business. And what I discovered, yeah, smash the like button. Thank you, Occult Stained Glass. Appreciate it. What I discovered was shocking, a little embarrassing even. I did not expect the results of the survey that I gave to my audience. And one of the things that I have felt for a long time that I haven't been able to, and this is kind of why I had the survey to begin with, the one thing I haven't been unable to do with just the amount of agents that we have is to provide mentorship on a one-on-one basis. I've always told agents joining my agency, like, this is an entrepreneurial type of organization. You've got to have the wherewithal to focus and follow the processes that we clearly lay out. It's very detailed, very structured, but I'm not going to babysit you, right? And that's how I've run my agency for years. But I did this little survey because I was getting the sense that there was still something lacking from the experience of helping my agents to the fullest extent possible. And I'm actually going to share this survey with you. And maybe you'll understand why I was a little bit disappointed with myself with not having the results that I thought we would get as good as we could. So I'm going to share my screen here. Let me see. I've got the hotkey set up, so you should be able to see my screen. Yell at me in the chat. If you don't, you probably see me talking to you. Okay, cool. So this is a survey I ran a couple of months ago. And check this out. This is kind of the big aha moment that I had the epiphany. And the survey says, as a new agent, if DeFord Insurance Group offered the option for more intensive one-on-one daily training with a tenured agent or coach in exchange for slightly lower commission, approximately 10%, to start in order to pay the trainer, maybe around, in our agency, 100% commission, would you take it? Now, remember, this is me, heavy on training already, very serious part of our business, right? And the results to me, again, were shocking. A full 2/3 of the people who responded, again, it's not representative of everybody, but generally you get a small minority of people to actually complete surveys. That's been my experience. But a full 2/3 of people said that they would absolutely take less commission in exchange for more one-on-one mentorship. And again, remember, these people work with my agency. We take mentorship and training, especially training in a group, seriously. It's very good, if I say so myself. And still, we have 2/3 of people saying that mentorship is absolutely something so important they're willing to take less commission for. Pretty incredible. The other 2/3 approximately said maybe, which I think I could convince most of them to take it. Maybe a portion wouldn't. And a full 4 or 5%, 1 out of 20 agents, said no, they wouldn't appreciate the training. So there's always going to be people who don't see the value proposition, and that's totally fine. But what's the point of this? To me, it's incredible. The important, this is, pro tip for you guys out there who are running agencies. I think you could take a few lessons from this too. The demand is clear, at least in my agency. And if it's in my agency clear, where we actually value training already and teaching and all of that, it's even more impactful for you. The demand is clear to me. Mentorship, coaching, not just with videos or even classes, but on a one-on-one basis, is an absolute critical demand from the audience and the people that you're recruiting. And my takeaway from this is if I am not delivering on this, as I'm not clearly through the way people are responding, then that is a market opportunity to take advantage of. And if it's that many people in my agency wanting one-on-one training and support, just imagine the group at large out there in the public who doesn't have access to the same quality training that we've always had, granted on a group basis. So therein lies my realization and my ultimate reason why I'm putting on this program today in 2 parts. There's 2 things we're changing here. The first big announcement is that I am tripling down on the one-on-one mentorship side of our ability to train agents that we select to join our agency. So here's how that actually is panning out and what we're going to be announcing here, or I guess officially rolling out here in the next couple of weeks. Once the holidays are past us, it's 2023. It's kind of be like a, firm start then. I am making a big investment in my business. I am bringing on 4 talented, tenured final expense agents to come on and support this initiative for mentorship for agents that we select to join our agency. These agents are very good, very experienced in face-to-face sales and telesales. And what we're going to be offering agents is daily mentorship and training when it comes to sales training, coaching, product understanding, underwriting, etc., to get them trained up, accountable, and as ready as ever to go out there and see success selling final expense, either whether it's in person or over the phone. So I'm going to be paying these people wages. It's a big deal for me. And if you've been around long enough, y'all know that the last thing I ever wanted in my business was employees. But there comes a point when you can't do it all, ladies and gentlemen. You have to rely on the good people that are surrounding you, who are good at what they do, and give them that responsibility to basically carry out the initiative of the vision that you have. And I've thankfully arrived at that decision after 10 years of doing business. So that is what we're going to do. Now, part of that process as well is that we are also initiating what we would call our career division, or what I would call, in other words, free lead division. So in addition to our brokerage program, where we've traditionally recruited just agents who come aboard and can buy their own leads, that's been the big kind of requirement to join DeFord Insurance Group. What we're doing now is we're recruiting agents who want to sell, who are excited to sell, who have enthusiasm to sell, but don't necessarily have the financial means to follow through and invest in leads. And what's cool about the way we do this, there's plenty of other organizations out there who do this kind of no-cost lead approach to recruiting successfully, and I've seen it long enough to be convinced. I'm kind of a slow adapter, I guess you could say. I've seen it long enough that I feel confident that with us providing the leads and with this now new approach to training and mentoring and selecting the right applicants, that we have a really good opportunity to build a team of agents who just want to sell and not necessarily buy leads. And what's extra cool about what we do too is that we have the opportunity to take those agents who start on the career side, where their leads are provided face-to-face or over the phone. We'll do it both, okay, depending on what we feel and the agent feels is their best bet. We have the ability to start them off with providing their leads, but then move them to the broker side of the business. This is an option that not every agent it's necessarily the best idea for, but this is one of the weaknesses that I see with a lot of the competition out there, that their whole model is based off of, we're going to stick you in forever a position to where you have a low commission contract, and there's no way that you can ever buy your own leads and actually make a good commission. So, and it's tough, if you're in that position. It's like, well, I'm getting results, but I know I'm not making the most I can, because at some level you do realize that, you're good at what you do, and you don't necessarily need free leads and go buy them, right? So the cool thing with the Ford Insurance Group is we have this trajectory for agents that enter on that side of the business, if they so choose to get into the broker side with us at higher commission levels, buying their own leads, so they can continue to maximize their commissions and be with us an entire career. That's something that I've always believed at my agency. I'm a relationship-oriented business owner. I'm trying to create relationships for the length of the career an agent is in. I want agents to stick with us for their whole life. I don't care so much about squeezing every last dollar out of an agent. My experience has been as long as I provide a good service, an exceptional service to my agents, you're my clients after all. And you're paid well, you're happy, you don't have the drama that's so common in a lot of these agencies. You're going to stick with me your entire career, and I'll make plenty of money because you've been in the business long enough. That kind of proposition is pretty appealing. So that's kind of the mentality behind that. Now, along with this new process, by the way, if you have questions, I see a bunch loading up, so I'm going to be putting it into the chat. I'll be answering your questions. Lost my train of thought. I'm live, and I lost my train of thought. Of course, that's how it happens. One of the things we're going to be doing differently that we're not doing is more carefully screening the applicants that come into our agency, okay? So this is a big initiative that I've put on because, frankly, I'll tell you guys, I've been ripped off really bad this last year because, and again, pro tip to you agency owners, because I really haven't done a good job of vetting the agents as closely as I should have. I've had literal agents, several of them, who have committed literal fraud, that we are working on cases to take them to court criminally and civilly to basically do justice. And that experience of losing a lot of money, thank God I'm at a point where I'm able to absorb it. Couldn't 5 years ago, would have been terrible. But it's taught me the importance of being much more selective with who you choose. And my experience and kind of a lay of the land here is that the level of fraud from bad agents has just gone up precipitously, as really the interest in the business has gone up. And so part of this process that we're doing differently is we're very carefully screening to make sure that when we recruit an agent, that we're finding a best fit agent to join our agency. We're doing, instead of like opportunity calls where, hey, if you can just buy leads, we'll accept you. That was kind of our standard back then. Pretty open-ended as long as you had the wherewithal to invest in leads. What we're doing now is and some of you have seen this if you've applied to the virtual call center that we've been running kind of as a test trial here the last couple months. We've accepted everybody, but now we're doing interviews that are 20 to 30 minutes in length. We're testing your ability to understand the script. We're fielding a video to check you out before we even set an appointment, just to see if you're a good match, to hear you do the script, to see if you've even bothered to study how it is to sell, and if you've critiqued yourself on how you have sold right. We're kind of trying to test to see who we think investing our time in is going to be a good investment back, right? Really mutually for both of us. So we're investing in this whole new approach to being more selective of who we bring on, and making sure that is a mutually good fit and where we think we can both succeed and really both win as an agency and certainly as an agent. So that's a big change. We're really making it a much more selective process of who we're bringing on to as well. Some of you may be asking in the chat, don't know quite yet, but I'll make sure that I'll clarify here. This is just for the final expense side of the business right now. I'll have more information here next couple weeks as my managers get started, our mentors get started, who they are, what their background is, experience, etc. We're doing a whole new website revamp as well to kind of parlay into this rebrand. But the Medicare and the ACA side is something that I want to invest in and do the same with, but one man only can do so much, right? And the vast majority of the agents getting started with us are coming in through the final expense side. So that's where I'm putting my emphasis on first. But this is something we're looking to expand into the ACA and definitely the Medicare side. We already got Stephen Burgess on the annuity side. If you guys wanted to sell annuities, or if you run into an opportunity, even if you're not working with us, we'll help you as long as you put your annuity business with us. So that's already been in existence, and that's worked really well. Stephen's helped so many people sell annuities, and this kind of same concept. It's funny, you're already doing it in one portion, but you're not for another. Why not do it for that too, right? So that's kind of what we're doing, guys. That's the big announcement. Our commitment to the business has never been stronger. I'm not selling out, guys. Some of you may be thinking that's what I was doing. Not selling out. Ain't going anywhere. I love this business too much. It's too much fun. I am blessed beyond belief. It's been wonderful. And my commitment to this business ultimately is, what can we do to make it better? What can we do to get more agents to succeed? You guys know that's what I'm about. That's why I put this content out. And I'm equally, if not more, passionate about that for the agents within my agency. And it's been a big learning experience for me. Agents need more training. They need more one-on-one development of their script. And they need to be held accountable. Let's just face it, right? It is very difficult to run an insurance sales business remotely when you don't have to report to anybody else. It's very hard. And some of you looking from the outside and be like, what are you talking about? And some of you can do it all right. You're autonomous people. You're individualistic, but that is the minority. Most of us need support. Most of us need help getting started, and somebody to rely on, somebody to expect things from us, right? And that is very difficult to get in an environment where you don't have to show up anywhere physically or even virtually. So we're changing that. That's a big goal for us, and I'm excited to announce it today. So thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to answer some questions here in the chat, and then at 5:30, I got to eat some dinner. My wife is mad that I'm doing a live stream so late in the day, but I said I had to do it. I made my commitment and promise. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Yes, please hit the like button. That helps share this video across the YouTube world and lets everybody know the big change. I'll still be doing YouTube videos, of course, to the same extent as I've always been. Nothing's going to change. So you guys who aren't going to join my agency, that's okay. Keep watching. Keep looking at the content. I promise it's still going to be as good as ever. All right. Definitely would have said yes. Barely just started with DIG a few weeks ago, and this sounds awesome. Yeah, we're going to have an opportunity. If you're already an agent of mine internally and you want to look at maybe making a shift out of this, it will affect your commissions. We are lowering commissions. That's the downside, quote unquote, to this initially. But the upside is from the training and support that you absolutely are going to get at a higher level, it will optimize your success. And we're not talking about such a low commission that it's ridiculous, right? I mean, 10% is really the average of what it's lower than what we've had it at, okay? I spent about 3 times more than I made in commission since I started in 2020, working on net profit, keep going, about 15 spent for 5,000 commissions. I know Ed says, I know I'm only new returning, but I have further suggestions to the survey. Sure thing. Let's keep going here. As a deferred career agent, can we at some point return to the brokerage agent? Yep, answer that, X-Rider. Nice to see you again, man. You absolutely can. As I explained earlier, again, that's a benefit with us because a lot of these organizations don't allow you to consider that, right? You're out of the club if you're not taking a low contract with high quality leads, and you're trying to level up your game because you feel like you've got what you need and now ready to move on. So I think that's a huge benefit. If starting the business and you're looking for that, you're just in that position financially, but looking long term, again, part of your process, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to this business, you need to do your due diligence, right? You need to not just think, where am I going to get my paycheck today? I mean, that's important. I get it. But you need to think about, what if this thing really takes off? What if you're really successful? And this industry thrives on your ignorance and not thinking that far ahead. My God, if I knew where I was going to be in 10 years, and I started in 2011, so about 11 years in, I never could imagine where I am today, right? And I failed out my first year, right? And, the outcome of your life depends on sometimes little decisions that you make, like this agency versus that agency. It really can. I think, like, for example, I'm here in part because I was willing to take my 5th credit card, which the other 4 were maxed out because of bad business, and put my first batch of leads on it. I'm not saying you should do that, but it is something that that little decision made all the difference, which is why I think thinking about this in the long term and considering this business is really important. A lot of seniors are indecisive professional procrastinators. Becomes a final expense, misleading ads and TV scammers. You get a lot of obstacles to overcome. Hey, Gwen, how you doing? What does training give us more success versus leads that do not work? I don't understand the context of that question, Thomas. You have to clarify for me. I really don't. You know, the leads work if you work them and you buy enough of them. I had this conversation earlier. First of all, a lead is not a lead is not a lead. There are organizations out there that are pushing what they call leads, which is really data. And if I mentioned the company to you, I would get a cease and desist because that's just how they roll. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And they pander this stuff out because it's a great business opportunity that makes them millions of dollars. And it's just a meat grinder for the people that come in who have dreams and hopes, but leave this business with an understandable chip in their shoulder. The point being is that if you're going to get into this business, another factor to consider is to consider where your leads are coming from. Are they fresh? Are they exclusive? Meaning, are they not old and are they not resold? Those are really important factors to consider. A lot of these organizations sell aged junk data that aren't even considered leads. It's basically like cold calling out of Yellow Pages, right? So you got to consider that. We use fresh and exclusive leads, and you've got to also have enough fresh and exclusive leads. That's the other side of that. I had a little rant on our training site with agents, and I kind of told them, like, look, you know, we've got good leads here, but you guys can't be gun shy. You know, if you're doing telesales, you got to buy 75 to 100 Facebook leads if you want to have a semblance of chance of writing 5 policies, right? That's when you're doing everything right. As opposed to buying like 30 or 40, like that's nothing, right? So you got to do it the right way. Nothing's worse than doing this business, you know, half-cocked, right? You're not fully all the way in. You can have the right leads, but not have the right amount, right? So you get the point. And then plus training, of course. When you know what to do and you've got confidence because you've got a lot of leads and you've been trained well, it's going to change your mindset and you think you're going to have a better time. But there's no guarantee of success either. All right. Continuing on. No fraud or strokes, David. No, sir. When's the new process starting? It is starting really like now, but we're officially going to be rolling it out over the next couple of weeks. I've got a website upgrade to do. We made kind of some marginal changes so that kind of the process to onboarding has changed for this application-driven process. So I'd say now, officially. Thank you very much, Corey. Well, you're not talking about me, so thanks anyways. I like being able to do both phone and face. What would the commission level be for new agent wanting to choose a new method of free leads and mentorship? Probably much lower. Phone sales, if you count in bonuses, other additional bonuses, probably 40 to 50%. Face-to-face, 50 to 60%. Again, that factors in app bonuses, quarterly bonuses for production, that kind of thing. So it's definitely lower versus like 100 to 120%. And I'm not like hiding that from the fact because we're paying for the leads, right? So it has to be lower for that, right? So that's the idea. All right. Let's keep going here. Sounds good. Thank you, Mark. Does this offer extend to existing DIG agents? Yes. Reach out to me if you're working with me already and you want to pursue this process. Joe Gaines, reverse the video and you'll see. This greatly decreased the failure rate. Thank you very much. So glad I found this place. Okay, hold on. Tell Mom 5 minutes. That was my little Ella, 4-year-old coming in here. Are you affiliated with AmeriLife? We might have some upline ultimate NMO contracts with them. I'm not sure. I know we have several with One Life last I checked. I'm not 100% sure. Continuing on. Yes, it is, Joe. I would have would we have to put anything down for the program? If you join as a broker, we require agents now to put a $500 refundable deposit down for leads. The requirement was instituted because there's a lot of people that say they're going to do this business and then they never pull the trigger. And I spend a lot of my time and resources trying to help them, and they don't ever do anything. It's very frustrating. If you're an agency manager, you understand this. So we've instituted a required refundable deposit that once an agent proves they bought leads, we refund it back. And it just keeps them honest that they're going to follow through. Does your agency offer discount code? Yes, it does. Go to daviddufour.com/contact for the Excel solutions. Be happy to do that. Tom, if things change where I'm at and my income decreases where I'm at, I'll reach out to you, David. Currently 6 figures, captive agent, not paying for leads. Cool. Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Tom, is what I would say. Right. Is it possible to work a captive PNC job while doing FE part-time to build? It's hard to serve 2 masters. Easy. Granted, I started part-time work in another business too. But it's possible, but you may want to consider carefully but potential issues with your existing PNC shop. Are they okay with that, right? Will the commission be different if you bring in your own leads? Yes, it is much higher if you're bringing in your own leads. Thank you, Beeman. Let's keep going. Hey, Sydney, you may have failed out, but you never lost faith in you and your abilities. Thank you. Appreciate it. That is true. Hope you're doing all right, Lewis. Right, if someone, kind of going up here more here, getting a lot of questions in here. All right. Yeah, I got into this XYZ company. I got into bleep, but training is basically not there, just scripts. Exactly. One-on-one training and free leads in exchange for lower commission. Yes, but also available if you're a broker too. So it's not just available on the free lead program with lower commission. We're leading with one-on-one training. That's our shtick. But whether you can buy leads or not, there's now a platform. We used to just work with agents who would buy leads, but we'll work with agents who can't, and we'll supply the leads. All right. How many live transfers? 20 to 30, just depends. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you, Susie. Appreciate it. David, I would love to schedule a short Zoom chat with you to discover if the DeFord agency would fit my expectations and vice versa. You have my email. Yeah, here's how it works, Robert, and everybody else. I don't have time to sit down and talk with everybody. Hopefully you guys can respect and understand that. I'm not trying to put anybody off. We start agents off to go to daviddufour.com/FAQ. That page answers 95% of the questions. And then at that point, if you have more questions, you'll see where you can join a private forum we have to post a question in the chat or to communicate with me privately, or you can just set up a interview time after you apply. So there's a couple of ways to do this, or you can just send me an email. I do respond pretty well to that. So, yeah. Okay. 10%, Robin. It's just on average, 10% lower commission. It's not that much difference. Why is it lower? I got to pay people now, right, to basically train guys and gals out there, right? So I got to pay them for their time, and they get a bonus on production too. All right. Yeah, good question, Mark. This is full-time only. If either full-time or part-time if you are a broker, but only full-time if you're going to have leads provided. We don't do this part-time if we're providing the leads at the moment. So you got to be full-time. If you want to do part-time with us, we accept it, but you have to buy your own leads. That is something that is a requirement, okay? All right, continuing on. Facebook leads, James. Do you offer leads to your agents and ACA? No, we don't. There are plenty of systems out there you can purchase if you want some interest in it. We have some ACA specific programs. We're promoting one that a TikTok lead system that's really good for ACA, and also a Facebook one. If you go to daviddufour.com/contact, I'll send you some information. All right, no debit route. No worry about that. Nice gravity. Nice job. Agent fraud, just fake application, time creator, people who write fake apps, they steal identities, fraudulently submit them. Carriers don't really do a good job of doing what I believe is their responsibility and checking the application to make sure it's legitimate. And they just front load a bunch of bogus business and then disappear. But they're going to go to jail eventually. All right. All right. Can we build an agency under your new platform? Yeah, it's the way that we're doing it right now, Joe, is predominantly based off of you being a manager. I haven't thought through how to make that work if you weren't and you were just building an agency. But at the present time, what we're doing, what my goal is to expand this thing out, obviously, and scale it up. So we'll be looking for more people internally who work with us to be brought up to a position of management. I don't like working outside of people I don't already know, like, and trust, like people who've been working my agency for a long time. So the goal is to bring in more people who are working up from the bottom up, who've worked with us that we have a relationship with, to put them in a management position. Full-time hours, 40 hours a week. Yep, I know, right, Sydney? All right, cool. RN, go to the beginning of the call. You'll see it. All right. Well, guys, that is it. Hope you enjoyed this quick review of what I'm doing differently. Bottom line, more of what works, which is training and support, and now mentorship from top producers into Ford Insurance Group. If you guys are looking for a home to sell final expense and you value something like this, then I encourage you to do the following. Here's what you need to do. Go to davidduford.com/FAQ. That is where you need to go to learn more about how our agency works. If you've been there before, go check it out again, because now we're doing this whole difference in approach when it comes to mentorship and support. You'll see on that page what the next step is to do after that. You'll go to a web page that says davidduford.com/apply. So we're going to accept applications and then start doing interviews for the new positions in our agency. Not next week, we're accepting them now, but formally for the first week of January is what we're looking at. So if you're interested in more about joining our agency to do that, or if you want to sell Medicare, annuities, or ACA, of course, we definitely are in it to win it there too. Go to davidduford.com/FAQ. Also, davidduford.com/apply if you'd like to consider joining. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate your time and attention. Y'all take care. Gosh, it's getting dark here.